Okay. Once you hit that tree there, go ahead and give me a D20. So give me a roll 1D20. Let's see what we get from Ciela and Quigley. Okay.
Wow.
Dang.
We're in 7 hell.
All right. All right.
I'm throwing rocks at Quigley.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm very, very bored.
Okay, so what happens is you guys don't get the jump on anything. It's all going to happen at once here. So I'm going to go to this layer for a second. And let me just go ahead and move these guys to where they need to be. So the rolls were to see if you saw them before they sprung their little trap here, but they're going to jump out. You didn't actually see them. They're just going to get to jump out. And so what you guys see all at once are several individuals leap out from the bushes, and they have a little battle cry, and they're like, "You're going to give us that wagon. You're all going to die today." Do I got everybody? I think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I see 1, 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me see 2. Let me go back to token area. So there's 2 here-ish.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 here.
Oh, okay, now I see him.
And there's one guy here. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to roll initiative to see what turn everybody goes. Nobody got surprise. There's no surprise round. And so what I'm going to do is, first time I've done this, so I'm going to bring up my turn order. And let's see, it tells me right-click on a token and choose Add Turn. So if I right-click on this and add a turn, that's going to be for the Bandits. They're going to go on a 6. All right, so now what you should be able to do is, let's do a right-click, add turn, right-click, add turn, right-click, add turn, right-click, add turn, right-click, add turn. Now, you should be able to see, I think you guys will be able to see turn order. There's a menu on the left-hand side, and it's the shape of a clock. And I'm adding people into the turn order. The Bandits will all go together at the same. Did I miss anybody? I got Ricky, Sala, Quigley. I need Ricky, right? Add turn.
There.
Oh, Ricky.
I'll take 2 turns, though.
Oh, yeah, I already had that. So can I get rid of one? Well, that's a good question. Oh, there it is. Who did I not have? Oh, yeah, okay, I have it. Wonder why Chuff's name doesn't show up. That's weird, but he's on there. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to need to step away for a sec. Oh, quickly. Okay. You're going to roll a 1d20. Now, if looking at your skills on your character sheet, if you have anything that helps you with initiative tasks, it'll say a thing that helps you with initiative tasks, then you can add a +3 to your roll. But if not, if you don't have anything that helps you, just roll a straight 1d20 to decide what order you go in.
Woo-hoo.
All right, so Ricky gets a 19. Chuffington gets a 14. Okay.
I have anything for initiative, so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, okay. So just, just type in /roll 1d20. Yep, 7.
Oh.
Good Lord.
Killing it. Killing it.
Just 2 in a row.
You and me quickly.
Stop throwing rocks at me.
Yeah, I still haven't noticed. I was too distracted.
He's also going to go at a 6, and the Bandit goes at a 6. All right, and now I think there should be a way for me to say descending.
Rocks at me.
There we go. So that'll be our turn order. So,
Jesus.
Ricky, you are up first. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to open the box that Sheffington's in.
Okay.
In the box.
I'm assuming he doesn't know what's going on yet.
Yeah,
might have
unless
heard
somebody
the clap.
yells or whatever. Yeah.
So I'm going to give him a little heads up.
All right, you get the secret knock on the box, so you can still do something. That won't take your whole turn. So you can do that, and he knows now. Chuffington, you hear the knock on the box, which was the code for, the...
Shit's going down, man.
The crap is hitting
And you
the
know to
fan.
come breaking out of the box to figure out what's going on. But you can still do something, Ricky, at that point.
Okay, I'm going to step off. Well, how many spaces can I move in a turn?
Generally, I would say probably each one is 5 feet. Each space right there is 5 feet. And I'm going to say if you're going to move and just do an action, like move and attack or something like that, we'll do 30 feet. If you want to just run and do nothing else, we'll do 60 feet. So 30 feet would be 6 of those squares. And you still could do something.
I'm going to take a hit at this guy here.
All right, just charges forward. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you. Just goes right after the guy. As he pops up, he's like, whoa, and there's a guy charging at him. He's like, he's not expecting this. His eyes are pretty wide. He's like, this hasn't happened before. And, okay, so for an attack, what kind of attack are you doing? You're just going to hit him or?
Whip.
Whip. So just, and that's a light weapon, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so for our bandit here.
I do have
brigade.
light weapons training, though.
All right. Yeah, and a light weapon is easier to hit with. So to attack this guy, he has a sword and a shield. And usually, just base, it's a difficulty 3 to hit him. But since you're using a light weapon, it's going to be a little bit easier for you. So that's going to go down to a difficulty 2 for you to hit him, unless you want to either add effort to make that go down again, or if you just want to leave it at that and try to make your roll.
Well, I'm thinking I'm already kind of messing with the guy because he's already creeped out, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just take a swing at him, see what happens.
All right, so yeah, make a difficulty
snap.
2 roll. And you make it. That's a hit. So he's going to take from your weapon, which is a whip, is going to be 2 damage. So basically what happens is you lash it out. He tries to dodge and he doesn't quite dodge. And you put a nice little gash across his forehead with your whip, kind of cuts him over the top of his shield. And, but he doesn't seem to be out yet. He's definitely irritated about that.
Irritated. That's exactly what I was going for. I just wanted to irritate him a little bit.
Okay. You succeeded. All right. That will be your turn. 14, Chuffington in the box. You throw down your Slim Jims and what?
Get out of the box.
Nice. Solid move.
Didn't Lonely Island do a song about that?
All right.
It's my
So
inspiration.
you can jump out of the wagon. You can stay in the wagon. What
I'm
are
gonna
you
jump
try to do?
out.
All right. He
of
jumps out.
the wagon. And
You see, and at that point, you see definitely there's 2 there. Yep. Okay.
that guy.
What are you gonna do to him?
Is that somebody there too?
Yeah, there's 2 of them right there in that bush. Yep.
Yeah, I want to go after this one.
Okay. And what are you going to do to them?
I stab him.
Sure. Yep. You can run up and use your weapon if you want.
Yes.
Perfect. So move your guy over to him. Just you kind of run up that little. It's not a big incline or anything, and you can just walk yourself up to him. There you go. Perfect. And all right. So again, normally these guys sword and shield, so they're difficulty 3, unless you have what weapon are you using?
Rapier.
So it's also a light weapon. So you go down to a difficulty 2 to hit this guy. Anything else? Do you want to add effort, or you just want to try it out this time?
Just gonna try it out.
Okay. So on your character sheet, on the character part that says, let me open one so I can tell you again right where it is. The right hand column at the bottom says roll versus a difficulty. Just click on the one that has a 2 and it should roll a difficulty 2 for you.
So I'm sorry. Say that again.
So do you have your character sheet open?
Yeah, I have the roll versus difficulty. So just click
Okay.
on the number 2 one.
Yeah, the one that says 2, the standard. Yep, click the one that says standard. All right, you rolled a 3, so you did not succeed and you missed.
Dang it.
All right. So this roll you made a miss. Now, let's talk about. Let's go through the round and we'll talk about some more mechanics that we can go through. So that's a miss. So what has happened is you try to hit him with your rapier and he moves the shield in the way and it hits off the shield and it doesn't actually hit him. Okay, so that's. And now you're going to be jostling for. He's going to try to hit you back at some point. So. We are now into Ciala or Quigley can decide to go since you both have the same number. Doesn't matter. You both can, whatever you want to do.
Ciela's closer.
Okay.
I'm kind of hidden behind the bush.
Let's see. I hear a commotion up ahead, and I'm like, what is happening? So I run over, and I see Chuff in combat with this sucker over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hey, why are you having all the fun over there? Why didn't you invite me to the party? And so I start running towards them, and I and in like a really cool action move, my forearm blade comes out, and I'm already playing with my razor ring because I'm bored. So I have that in my other hand. So I'm running with my forearm blade with my left hand and my razor ring in my right. And I charge right towards. Can I get to both of them? The guy next to Chuff?
I think in this
Or
turn, if
not?
you were going to do your attack, you could get to the one Chuff just tried to hit. I think the other one is just out of reach. You would be able to run to him, but you wouldn't be able to attack. But that first one, this one right here, you would be able to get to maybe this square right here and make an attack.
All right. So I get there and I swing at him with my forearm blade.
Okay. So, again, he has a sword and shield, so he's normally a difficulty 3 to hit. What you said you're using which weapon?
My forearm blade.
The forearm blade, and that's a medium?
I think that's a light weapon, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be easier to hit, so we're going to drop that down to a 2. And you have the ability... Oh, is our strong wields 2 weapons at once. That's right. And you do have an ability. If you go to your ability area, you have an ability called Dual Light Wield. Did you read that one?
It's super detailed. What does enabler mean? Right there at the end.
A lot of
It just means it enables you to do that without any negatives. Like somebody else could try to do it, but they would get negatives to do it.
So I can attack twice in a single action.
Yeah, which nobody else normally can. So that's a cool thing. It's going to let you make 2 attacks. So you're going to make 2 rolls, and you can use your 2 weapons. So one might be your forearm blade, and one might be your razor ring, and you'll be able to make 2 different attacks.
All right. So I do that. And you said it went down to a 2?
Yep. So it's a difficulty 2, unless you want to add some effort to make it even easier, or try to go for the difficulty 2 roll.
I'll go for the difficulty 2 roll.
Okay. And the other
Right,
thing for yours, not to add too many complications, is you could either do a bash or a thrust also.
And and that takes up effort, right?
It does. They cost, if I look at your screen, I think they cost 1 point of might, but you have an edge of 1, so they're actually free. One of them would be free. So you could do one or the other. Probably bash is for not light weapons, but a thrust could be from one of your light weapons.
Yeah, I go for a thrust. Sure. Why
Okay.
not?
Let's read that too. Just so you have a couple of things. So, and And so the thrust, just so the guys know too what's happening, is she's allowed to make a powerful melee stab, probably with her forearm blade. And what that will do was inflict 1 additional point of damage. So normally it would do 4, but if she hits, it's going to do a 5. So that's kind
If
of cool.
somebody's, does she also get the bonus from cooperative because they both are attacking the same person?
Yes. Yep. So actually, we're going to go down to a difficulty 1. So what we ended up rolling? 15 easy. Yeah, perfect. So the first one hits. The forearm blade's going to hit for 5. What about your second attack?
Let's see. I go in, and so that was my thrust. And so I thrust into the guy, and I laugh, and because I saw Chuff miss him. So I'm like, let me show you how it's done as I go in for my razor ring.
Nice. And go ahead and do a difficulty 1 roll. Yep. And yeah, you got a 4, which is still enough. Still enough. Razor ring hits. So you stab into this guy. So we get a 5 and a 4. And in fact, that guy, it's going to be, what you see is he crumples. And in fact, you can even describe how this guy dies.
So I go in with this guy, and I just thrust my forearm blade into his torso area. And so I have him pinned there, and before he can react, I go with my razor blade, and I just hit him straight in the neck, and straight through the artery, and I see him sputtering out as he dies, and falls, and slides off slowly off my forearm blade.
Yeah, he crumples, and it is awesome. And now this guy here, he's got really big wide eyes because this was not going the way he expected it as he's kind of facing you.
And I grin at him as his
nice.
friend just slides off.
And that's how you do it, Chuff.
Okay.
Just giving somebody else an opportunity to be the best at anything.
And now we have Quigley.
So what's our movement?
I'm going to say right about 30 feet-ish, give or take.
Okay.
Unless you want to do a full run where you're not going to actually attack, then you can go 60 feet. And those are 5-foot squares.
Do I get the sense that I'm relatively hidden, that nobody's really noticed me?
Yeah, so far they look very intent on the 3 people that have charged him. They are really focused and looking at them. You don't get the feeling that any of them are really paying attention to you up in that tree yet.
If I was to go diagonal, is that still a
Yeah,
5-foot
that's fine.
movement?
Yep.
All right, so...
And if you got to go 35 feet and do it, that's fine. It's just close to 30-ish. You might be but you've got a ranged weapon, so you can attack from anywhere.
Yeah, the problem is that PB or Ciela is in the way for
Well,
the
sorry,
guy.
I just had to go kill some fools.
Yeah,
man.
they don't
That's
really
all right.
typically. You can shoot into combat. The only time that you wouldn't ever hit another person. If you roll a 1, then probably what's going to happen is something's going to happen to the bolt, or I'm going to come up with something different. But it's not going to be it hits and damages another player. So
All
you
right.
can shoot into combat.
So the driver, did he roll initiative?
Yes, he's a 6 also.
Does it look like the driver can handle himself, or?
Yeah, actually, you've noticed he doesn't have any weapons, so you're not
All
sure.
right. So what I'm gonna do is I don't think anybody should be able to see me. I'm going to kind of run up to the cart and kind of scoot through to the front and tap him on the shoulder and say, "Get hidden, man. Get back in here. Get out of sight. Let us take care of this."
Okay.
And then I'm going to take aim at. Can I see Can I see either of these guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
They have jumped out.
God.
They jumped out of their hiding spot.
All right. So
About to move.
which one's which? Are they different or are they the same?
No, there you see generally guys with swords and shields. They seem to have like a brownish leather armor on, and they're wearing little like bandanas across their lower face. So they're just
Okay.
pretty stereotypical bandits.
So there's not really much of a difference between one of the left or the right.
Not that you can see. No.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take aim at this guy with my crossbow. Why can't I click on him?
Just hold it down. Don't do a double click or anything.
There we go.
Yeah, just hold it down. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to hit him with my crossbow.
All right. So basically, again, it starts off as a difficulty 3. Is there anything you want to do to bring that down? You have any skills, abilities, or add effort to bring that down?
So do I, because I kind of snuck in there, like I would assume, would my assumption be correct if the guy on the left was kind of, his attention was focused on Ricky, and the guy on the right, his attention is focused on Chuff and Ciela?
For the most part. I mean,
So
he's seen you. They've seen you move up, and they see the driver who's about to listen to your instructions move, even though he's not quite
So they
moved
did see
yet.
me.
So they are aware you're in this fight.
all right, so I can't use stealth. All right. Okay, so I have skills with practiced with light weapons.
Uh-huh.
So I guess that drops it down to a 2.
Right, if you're using one of your light weapons.
That would
I think
be-
the crossbow is a medium weapon if you're shooting the crossbow.
It says practice with light and weapons.
Yep. So it's
Okay.
just a skill that says you can use, if you were to see a light, does it say light and medium?
It says light and weapons.
Oh, I think it's supposed to say light and medium. I must have mistyped that. Yeah, so that would be like, if somebody's sword was on the ground, you could pick it up. If any light or medium weapon was around, you can use it with no penalty. But it doesn't give you any additional advantage
Oh,
to
okay.
use it.
Okay, so I'm just going to fire my crossbow. So I need to. So which one am I? Which difficulty was it?
It starts out at 3, unless there's anything that's going to add to that. Let me look at what you have skill-wise in. So I'll go to attributes. So you have a thrust ability, but that would work with your melee weapon. So what'd you pick for your melee weapon? A whip?
Whip.
Yeah, so actually that wouldn't work with the whip either because you need something that's a stabbing-like thing. And then you have... Yeah, so I don't see anything from your sheet that would increase it or decrease it unless you want to use effort.
No, not yet.
Okay, so it's a difficulty 3. So you're just going to roll on your difficulty chart there, a difficulty 3 to shoot him.
Nope.
Oh, just missed it by
What?
1.
Oh, I thought I rolled a 0. I'm like, what? How is that possible?
Nope, rolled an 8. You were just 1 under, and so the bolt goes flying past him. It zings, it just misses him, and he definitely looks at you. He's like, "Oh, all right, I see how it's going to be," and but no damage is taken.
Okay.
All right.
Got a little dead weight in the party is what I'm thinking.
Hey, I'm just gonna turn around so I'm looking at him now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Done.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna hit him now. Colonel,
Next
you might
time
want to
it
try
will,
that too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can turn your person around. It does work. Okay, so our next person is our bandits, and then our driver will go. So our bandits are going to... All right, so this guy is definitely going to attack. This guy is going to make his move. And we'll say he's also going to run up to our healer here.
Awesome.
This guy's going to go try to help his buddy because he just saw this badass chick take down one of their guys. So maybe they'll go here, and this guy will go here.
Come at me, bros.
And the driver, before we do anything, he's going to hide in the wagon. This is all happening at the same time, listening to Quigley.
Is he hiding in Chef's box?
Yeah, he sees an open box and he's like, I'm going to this open box. This is awesome. And he starts eating some Slim
Jeff
Jims.
yells, "Leave my jerky alone."
He starts eating some Slim Jims. Okay, so let's move through our bandits here. So what's cool about this system, here's another new mechanic for us to learn, is that I don't get to roll for the bad guys. You guys are going to roll a defensive roll. So in this, you guys are doing all the rolling, which is nice. So you succeed or fail based on how good you can roll dice. You can't blame me for any of this. You're like, a Roll20 is not going to be on my fault if this happens. So we have two bandits that are about to attack Ricky, and they're going to attack separately. They're not going to work together. They're just going to try to attack separately. And for them to try, so you're going to make what's called a speed defense roll. So what a speed defense roll means, you're going to try to dodge these attacks out of the way and try to take no damage from them.
All right.
So the difficulty to dodge their attacks, let me bring up them one more time here, is only a 2. Difficulty 2 task. Yep, question?
Yeah. So with our special abilities, does that count as a like a movement, or is that something that can be done sort of like a held action kind of thing?
Some of them are, if it says action, and most of the abilities are going to be an action that happens in your turn. So you could move and do that action or do that ability. Some of them just happen. You know, okay. For an example, Ricky has a ward on that's just always on. He doesn't have to turn it on. He doesn't have to do anything. It's always there.
Okay, so I couldn't, I couldn't say use my, what's it called? Hedge magic to like distract somebody while they're engaged with somebody. I have
Correct.
To wait for
and
my
in
turn
fact,
to do
if
that.
you read that too, it
does
talks
say
about
action.
Yeah, it does say action, but you can't harm anybody. You could use it for a distraction, but it would be your turn. So you would do that instead of shooting your crossbow or using the whip. Yeah.
So does the ward bring it down to a simple for the defense? Because it's +1.
Right. So let's go to your because you have a ward. So if we look at your skill, and that way people on the, also can see. So we talk about ward, and he has a shield of energy that's around him at all times, and it helps deflect attacks. So actually what it does is if you get hit, you have a +1 armor, so it's going to lower the amount of damage that you would have taken.
Gotcha.
But it won't lower the difficulty. Now, when you make a speed defense roll, you can spend effort from the speed pool if you want to make it easier than the difficulty 2. Or a skill if you'd had one. Let me look. No, I'm not seeing anything that's going to make that any easier.
Right.
So the only thing that would make it easier for you would be is if you want to spend effort from your speed pool.
It's a standard right now, too?
It's a standard. Yeah, you got to roll a 6 or higher.
Let's just roll it.
All right, so roll for one. Well, you get 2 of them, so you can roll them both. Okay, so... Okay, 1 hit, 1 miss. He's going to do... Let me bring up there... probably should just write this down. Okay, so his sword does 4 points of damage to you. So the first one swings kind of at your head, and the other one's swinging more at your midsection, and you dodge your head out of the way, but that leaves kind of your midsection there, so you take 4 points. But your ward will drop that down to a 3, okay. And that comes off your might pool first. So
the right or the left?
The left is your base, and the right is what you have currently.
Okay.
So you can move that down. Yep. All right. Those are those 2. Also, the 2 bandits think that Ciela is definitely the clear danger here. So they're going to try to make their attack, not in unison. They're going to just swing one at a time. They're not trying to work together. And so you are being faced with 2 difficulty 2 speed defenses. Is there anything you want to... Do you want to spend effort, or do you just want to try to roll them?
I'm just gonna try and roll.
Okay.
Oh well, that was not a good decision. And that's 1.
Yep. So it's
And
going to be
2.
1 hit. And the second one, is he going to get you? No.
Nope.
Oh, and it's an 18, which is nice. Okay. So you, again, just kind of like Ricky, one is trying to swing at you. The other one is also trying to swing at you. And you are able to deflect one of the weapons with your forearm blade. You actually just block it straight up. But as you're doing that and as you're smiling at them like, what are you trying to do? The other guy does sneak an attack in on you, and you're going to take 4 points of damage. But remember to minus any armor that you have. What type of armor did you end up choosing?
Medium armor.
Medium armor. So that gives you 2 points of armor, and you can put that in your armor. Okay, it's already there. Good. So you get to take 2 points off of that. So you only take 2 points from your might pool. Yep. And typically, the left is your base and the right is what your current is at, but it's okay too. Yeah. As long as you're just consistent.
Oh. That is not my left. My right was my left.
the other left.
And as the guy hits me in my torso, right?
Yes.
I look at him and I growl at him.
Oh, okay. He's like, you're next. The one that hit you, too, I'll just tell you, was this guy. This guy hit you because you hit his buddy. All right. So the 2 bandits have gone. They are gone. We're about to go back to the top of our round. So Ricky is up. What would you like to do, Ricky?
Destroy them.
Murder him.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Is Ricky muted?
I was sorry. What was that?
You're up. What would you like to do?
So can I use push? Is that just the entire move, or?
Yeah, it's an ability. It is your action, but yeah, you could push, and it would drive one of them pretty far away from you. It would probably it would probably put them in somewhere like in this range, and would knock you off them. But you can decide too. I think with that push ability, you can decide how and which way you push them.
I think I'm gonna join the fight over here, where all the cool people are fighting.
Okay.
Instead of fighting these 2 guys by myself, and I'm gonna try and get this guy from behind.
All right. So it starts out again at a difficulty 3 to hit them because it's sword and shield. You guys are, well, you're not attacking the same target yet, so I wouldn't say anything extra there. But you're using the light weapon. Is it the whip again?
Whip it.
So it's going to bring it
good.
down to a difficulty 2. Would you like to spend any effort?
Yes, I would.
All right. So when you spend effort, you choose either your speed pool or your might pool for the light weapon. And to spend a level of effort is 3 points. If you have any edge, you can lower that cost by what the edge is.
I'll use the speed pool.
Okay. So now it's down to a difficulty 1. You got to roll a 3 or higher to hit him with your whip. All right. You hit with a 13. He's going to take 2 points of damage. I'm going to put that on him. He's fresh, though. He's not been hit before. So there we go. All right. Up next is our trusty top hat, Chuffington.
I would like to use shock.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So let's bring that up so people can see what that is. So shock, so everybody can see it for Chuffington's character. When we click on shock, this is a pretty neat one. So your hands crackle with electricity, and the next time you touch a creature, you inflict 3 points of damage. Alternatively, if you wield a weapon, which you have your rapier out, for 10 minutes it crackles with electricity, and it will inflict 1 additional point of damage per attack. So your hand crackles with lightning, and your actual short sword, or was it, or your rapier? That's what it was. You can see along the blade that the lightning dancing across that blade as you go to make your attack. So this guy is a difficulty 3, unless you would like to lower the difficulty by spending any effort.
I would, sir.
Okay. You can choose your might or your speed pool.
We'll go with speed.
Okay. And so it's going to be 3 points to lower that difficulty down.
Okay.
And then now all you need to make is a difficulty 2 attack.
Hey.
Woot.
Made it. And so your rapier usually does 2 points of damage, but with lightning, a 3rd point of damage. And I assume it was this guy right here, correct?
Correct.
All right. And I'm going to make sure he had some armor, but the lightning is going to make sure all that damage hits him, even though he had armor. So it's not going to reduce it by any. So he's going to go down. You put a big gash in him. He's still up, but you definitely put a big gash into him. All right.
Then I look at Ciela and say, like that?
Yeah. Where's your lightning is the look I would give her. All right. Ciela, you were up. Or Quigley, you both are 7s, so either one can go.
Oh. I guess I'll go first since Chuff challenged me. I look at him and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Finally, God. Some people, man. And I go straight at the guy who just hit me because screw that guy. Okay. And I go same deal, forearm blade, then razor.
Okay.
So
are you gonna use thrust this time or bash? Either one? Or you don't have to. Those are abilities you have.
Let's see. Let's do a bash because I'm angry at this guy.
Okay.
And I have an edge of 1, so that's still
Yeah, doesn't
free?
Even cost you. Yep, it's a free ability for you.
All right. And so it is a 2, right?
So we're sitting at difficulty 3 to hit these guys because they're sword and shield, unless you bring... Oh, but you have light weapons, so that brings it down to difficulty 2.
All right. So with bash, it is... Nope.
Okay, so that one misses.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Oh, wow.
I get distracted by the lightning that just happened next to me.
Yeah, and actually I'm going to use a new mechanic. I'm gonna spring another mechanic on you guys. So here's another thing that can happen in Numenera. So we're kind of loading them out as we go here. I'm going to use what's called a GM Intrusion. And what a GM Intrusion does is it allows me to add some type of complication to the fight. Okay? But to do that, I have to give you, and I'm going to do it against Ciela, but I'm going to give you, because you're the one that gets the complication, you're going to get a +1 XP. Now, what XP can be used for is, 1, you can use it for rerolls. 2, if you save up 4 of them, you can use them to advance your character. And those are some of the things that you can do with XP. So on your character sheet now, you can put XP for a 1, and you get to award one of the other players an XP also. So who would you like to give an XP to?
Because my buddy finally stepped it up in the game, I'm going to give it to Chuff.
All right, so Chuff, also on your character sheet, you will see on the character part a place for XP, and you can put a 1, and you can use that for a reroll, or you can save them to advance your character. Okay?
Okay.
Now, here's what happens. You swung with the forearm blade, and it pinged off of the guy's shield, and the intrusion is going to be that when you try to hit him with the razor wing, it actually hit the shield hard enough, because you were really trying to get this guy, that you lose grip on your razor ring, and it goes flying off a few feet. So it's fallen out of your hand and is sitting on the ground now over here. Okay.
That never would have happened to Xena. Just saying.
Butterfingers.
So that's a thing that's one way that they call them GM intrusions. It's one way for you guys to earn experience, but it's also a way for the GM to, just kind of spice up the fight as it's going, because you guys look like you're taking care of these guys, so I don't want it to be too easy.